So for this video, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the conveyor section down here. Okay, so what that's going to do for us is allow us to get in and have a look at some of the illustration parts that are available within the library in the GT Designer tree. And it's also, we're going to draw our own part. So we're going to draw our own bottle, um, convert it to be a part so that we can use it, switch it on, switch it off. And we're also going to have a look at when we can hide and display an item as well. Okay, so there's a few little bits happening in this one. Okay, so back to designer. So the first thing we're going to do is drop in the conveyor belt. So the GT designer, as well as the buttons that we've looked at in that, there's a large selection of library parts in here. So if we click on the library tab here to pop it out, you can see the system library here. You can also create your own library. So I've created some parts in here, just for some other projects that I've used on that. Okay, and then down here, then we can search through the system library. Okay, now it says search. The search function in here isn't very good. You kind of have to go through it, and I suppose what you can do is you can mark as favorites then some of the ones that you use more regularly. Okay, but for the conveyor belt that we want to have a look at here, we'll go search by subject, then we'll go down to illustration, click on that little plus there, and then we have illustration parts here. So if I click on just parts one there, or sorry, double click on it, you can see these ones here. There's just tanks, there's some pumps and blowers and gauges and valves and a few different bits and pieces that are kind of just generic system parts. There's a few more there, a little bit of a robot arm, some lamps and that. And in part 3 here, this is where we're going to get our conveyor belt. So we're just going to have a little end on conveyor. So the first one here is this piece here, this the left part of the conveyor. So we just left click on it there and bring it over. You don't have to hold the click. We just bring it over there and we shall drop it there. Then we'll go back to the library. It keeps it open, thankfully. We'll stick a center piece of the belt on, and we'll just pop that in there. We'll drag it out here to extend it down a bit, and then we'll go back for the right piece. Okay, so there's my conveyor belt. Now, the illustrated parts that are in there, there's no color variation on. So remember what I said, that all the buttons and everything that we've put in here, they're just pictures, and we're changing the picture depending on the state of the device or whatever that we're looking at. Okay, so there isn't a different color picture for these, but in the mock-up here, we can see we've got a little lamp in here that indicates when the conveyor is running. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to get a bit lamp. Oh, sorry, I clicked on it there. And we'll come over here and we'll make it just kind of the size of the center of it there, like that. All right. And we'll open it up and we'll make it green. Just like that. All right. So that'll go green when the system is running. All right. So we better tell it, I suppose, or sorry, when the conveyor is running. So we better tell it what device that's connected to. So our conveyor motor here is Y0. All right, so we're going to use Y0 as the bit there. We don't have any text on this one or anything. Okay, and then we click OK. So that's our part in there. All right. Okay, so that's kind of my conveyor setup, so that, okay, when I press the start button now, Y0 will come on and my conveyor will run. Okay. The next thing I want to do then is create the bottle. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to make our own part. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use the drawing function over here to draw a little bottle and then save that as a part. Right? So to draw the bottle, just the easy one here for drawing the bottle is to use the polygon here. So with the polygon, we bring it out and we left click to start it, and then he's not coming. There we go. No, we go again. We have to hold the left click, I think, do we? Left click and hold it, yeah, and drag it out. Okay, and then we come up. So I've let go of the click once I got it started. Now I can left click again, left click, left click. Left click is creating all these corners like that. And then when we're back down to here, we can double click and we're done. All right. So that's just an outline again. Excuse me, just like the boxes. If we double tap, then we open up the properties. So we want a pattern. I'm going to have it red when it's empty. So there's my red bottle. I'm going to, so the line color is white there. I'm going to change my line color to black to give it a better bottle look about it. All right, and then we click OK. So there's my little bottle I've drawn. Okay, now that's just a drawing. If I double click on it again, you see I can't really do a whole lot with it here. All right. So what we're going to do is we right click on it and we are going to register to parts. So this is going to register it as a part. Maybe I have to do a little bit more with it then. All right. So it comes up here when you click register to parts, default number because this is the first part I've created in this project. Okay. So we'll call it empty bottle and click OK. So that's going to be my empty bottle. Now I need the full bottle. So the full bottle is going to be green. So all I'm going to do here is double click on this. I'm going to change the color to green and then I'll right click and save it again. This is my full bottle. You can see it automatically advanced to number 2 here. So what I've drawn here is just the bottle. That's not actually the part. So when I have it saved and if I go over here to see my parts image list over here, you can see I have my 2 bottles in there. Okay, so I can delete this one here. Okay, so what we want to do then to use it is we're going to come in and we're going to place a lamp. Okay, so we're going to have a bit lamp. We'll create the bit lamp here. Double click on that. Okay, and then so down here in the shape. So if we click on the shape here, so we've kind of haven't looked at it yet, but we've been going through the library here all the time. So what we want to do is click on parts, and that's where we have our part here. So now we can click on the bottle. Click OK, and in it goes. Now, so the off is the red one, and then the on is going to be back to shape, and we're going to go for the full bottle. Okay, so the off is red and the on is green, and let me just go back over to the program just to show you why that, because see here we have an M coil here that says bottle full. So if the bottle full M coil is off, it's empty, and if it's on, it means the bottle's full. So that's what we're looking at here. So M5 is going to be our device here then. Okay, so M5 is the device. Okay, now that's going to change the color of the bottle as it fills and as it empties. All right. The other thing that we want to do is we only want that bottle to appear when the sensor has been activated. So on our real production line, we'll put a bottle on the production line. It'll carry on down on the conveyor belt, and then it'll come to the sensor for this station. Okay, that's when we want it to appear on the graphic here that there's a bottle at that station. All right, so that's the trigger here. So if we go into trigger, so here we can control the hiding and display. All right, so then we can pick a device to do that. So if we go back to the program here, you can see that there is when we turn on the part sensor here, okay, X0, that's when we want the bottle. So when the bottle gets in front of the sensor, that's when we want the bottle to appear. Right, so we go back here and it's going to be, sorry, X2, yeah, X2. So we'll put X2 in here. All right, so that will control when we display it. Or so it's you can control the on display or the off display. It's the on display that we want to control. All right, and then we click OK. Okay, now so we have our bottle. Our bottle's kind of fallen off the conveyor belt, so we just lift it up there a little bit. So now we have our conveyor belt, and we have used the illustrations, the graphical bits and pieces and parts that are in there to do that. We've put a lamp on it so we can show it running. And then we've created our own bottle, made it a part, and then used it as a bit lamp then in the system that we can control, turn it on, turn it off, and make it appear and disappear. Okay.